I was sorting donations in the church basement when I found it, a yellowed envelope wedged inside a 1920s Bible. My hands trembled as I unfolded the paper. To whoever finds this child, her name is Clara. I am boarding the orphan train west. If she survives, tell her I had no choice. Tell her I'm sorry. Yem, September 14th, 1923. That was my birthday. That was this church. The handwriting matched the locket I'd worn my entire life. I looked up at Father Michael, who was watching me with tears in his eyes. Eleanor, he whispered, there's something you need to know. And you have exactly 3 days before the diocese seals these records forever. I had 72 hours to find a ghost. Before we continue, if you're already hooked, smash that subscribe button and hit the like. Comment below. Would you dig up your past if it meant losing your present? Because what Eleanor discovers next will shatter everything she thought she knew about family. Stay with me. The truth about that church step, about the woman who left her there, it's going to break your heart wide open. Father Michael led me to a locked room I'd never seen. Inside, filing cabinets, dust, and the smell of forgotten time. The diocese is digitizing records, he said. Anything they deem irrelevant gets destroyed. The orphan train logs are on that list. Once they're gone, I finished. He handed me a key. You have until Friday. I'll buy you time, but Eleanor, are you sure you want this? Some doors once opened. She left me on stone steps in September, I said. I deserve to know why. The first file I opened was mine. Female infant, approximately 3 days old, found September 14th, 1923, St. Michael's Church, New York City. No identification except silver locket engraved CM. Place with Catholic Foundling Society. Transported west on orphan train number 847, October 2nd, 1923. I was cargo. A child shipped west like cattle, auctioned to the highest bidder, or the kindest face. But then I found the passenger manifest. Train number 847, 53 children, and 1 adult chaperone, Miss Catherine Brennan, society matron. Beside her name in faded pencil. Personal interest, baby girl locket CM. CM. My locket. Catherine Brennan knew something. I searched for hours. Census records. Immigration logs. Finally, in a water-stained journal marked, St. Michael's Daily Log, 1923. I found it. September 13th, 1923. Young woman, Irish accent. Left infant on steps after midnight. Gave false name. Matron Brennan recognized her. Refused to report. Matron resigned the next morning. Both disappeared. Catherine Brennan didn't just know my mother. She was connected to her. And she'd given up her entire career to protect that secret. I traced Catherine to Kansas, where orphan train number 847 terminated. City records showed she'd settled in a town called Redemption. Population 847. The irony wasn't lost on me. But here's what broke me. Catherine Brennan died in 1985. Her obituary mentioned no children, no family, just one line that made my blood stop. Miss Brennan spent her life advocating for displaced children. She often said, I couldn't save them all, but I saved the one that mattered most. She'd been protecting me my entire life, and I never knew her name until now. I drove 18 hours to Redemption, Kansas. The town looked like time forgot it. Grain silos, one diner, a library built in 1889. The librarian was a woman in her 70s named Ruth. When I said Catherine Brennan's name, her face went pale. You're her, Ruth whispered. The baby with the locket. I nearly collapsed. You knew. Ruth locked the library doors. Catherine was my teacher. She never married, never had kids. But every year on September 14th, she'd visit the Catholic Church here and light a candle. One day, I asked her why. She said, because I made a promise to a girl who had no choice. And I keep my promises. What girl? I begged. Who was my mother? Ruth pulled out a box from beneath her desk. Inside, photographs, letters, and a train ticket stub from 1923. Catherine kept everything, Ruth said. She knew one day you'd come looking. She made me swear, if a woman ever came asking about a locket with the initials CM, I was to give her this. The first photograph stopped my heart. A young woman, maybe 19, holding an infant wrapped in a blanket. The woman's eyes were my eyes. Her smile was carved into my face. On the back, in Catherine's handwriting, Clara Margaret and her daughter Eleanor. September 12, 1923. The last day they were together. Clara Margaret. CM. My mother's name was Clara. She'd named me after herself. The letters were worse. Written by Clara to Catherine over the span of a single week. Kath, I can't keep her. He'll find me. He'll take her. Please. Get her on the train. Get her somewhere safe. I'm leaving her at St. Michael's tonight. Swear to me you'll make sure she goes west. Swear to me he'll never find her. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. Tell her I loved her. Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I chose her life over mine. The final letter was dated September 15, 1923. One day after I was found. Catherine, he found me. I'm going back to Ireland. If I stay, he'll hunt her. She's safe now. Let her stay lost. I love her too much to let him win. Z. I looked up at Ruth, tears streaming. Who was he? Ruth's jaw tightened. Your grandfather. Clara's father. A man named Declan Murray. A Brooklyn dock boss with a temper and connections. When Clara got pregnant out of wedlock, he was going to force her into an asylum and give you to the church as a bastard orphan. Clara ran. Catherine helped her. And when Declan came looking, Catherine lied. She said Clara never came to the church. She said the baby was anonymous. And my father? I choked out. Ruth shook her head. Clara never named him. But in one letter, she called him the only good thing in a bad world. He didn't know about you. She never told him. I was the product of a love my mother protected by erasing. Where did Clara go? I whispered. Ruth handed me the last item in the box. A newspaper clipping from Dublin, Ireland. 1960. Nun dies saving children from tenement fire. Sister Mary Catherine Margaret, 56, perished while rescuing 8 children. The photograph showed a nun with kind eyes. My mother's eyes. She'd spent her life saving children because she couldn't save me. I sat in that library until dark, holding my mother's letters like they were made of glass. Ruth brought me tea. What will you do now? I didn't know. Part of me wanted to rage. At Clara for leaving, at Declan for chasing, at a world that made a 19-year-old choose between her child and her life. But mostly I felt grief. The kind that sits in your chest like a stone. She became a nun, I said. She saved kids her whole life because she couldn't save me. No, Ruth corrected gently. She saved you by letting you go. That was her first rescue. I drove back to New York in silence. When I got home, I stood on the church steps where I'd been found. I tried to imagine Clara's hands, young, terrified, placing me down in the dark. Did she kiss my forehead? Did she whisper goodbye? Father Michael found me there at dawn. Did you find her? He asked. She's dead, I said. But I found her story. He sat beside me. And I don't know what to do with it. I have a mother who loved me enough to disappear. A matron who gave up everything to protect me. A town full of strangers who kept her secret for 60 years. And I'm just Eleanor, the woman who organizes church bake sales. Father Michael smiled. You're the woman 53 orphans became because one matron refused to let them be forgotten. Catherine didn't just save you, Eleanor. She saved everyone on that train. She fought for funding, for better placements, for laws protecting orphan rights. You want to know her legacy? He handed me a folder. Inside, photocopies of articles, testimonies, legislative records. Catherine Brennan had spent 40 years advocating for children like me. She changed laws, saved lives. And you, Father Michael said, have been doing the same thing. Every kid you mentor, every family you help through foster care, every donation drive you run, you're living her promise. I looked down at the locket around my neck. CM. Clara Margaret. Catherine Matron. 2 women who chose me when the world said I was disposable. There's one more thing, Father Michael said. He handed me a sealed envelope. This came for you. From Ireland. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside, a letter from a woman named Siobhan Murray. Clara's niece. My cousin. Dear Eleanor, I found your search inquiry through the Dublin archives. I'm Clara's brother's daughter. I grew up hearing stories about Aunt Clara the nun, but my father never spoke about her past. When he died last year, I found letters she'd written him. Letters about you. She never forgot you. Every September 14th, she'd write him the same thing. I hope she's happy. I hope she's loved. I hope she never knows how much it cost to let her go. She had a stroke in 1978 and couldn't write anymore. But my father visited her every week until she died. And every time, she'd ask the same question. Did you find her? Is she safe? He never could. But I can. You're invited to Ireland. To meet your family. To see where Clara grew up. To visit her grave. We've waited 60 years to meet you, Eleanor. Come home. I looked up at Father Michael through tears. What do? I whispered. He squeezed my hand. You go. You meet them. You finish what Clara started. 3 weeks later, I stood in a cemetery outside Dublin, staring at a headstone. Sister Mary Catherine Margaret 1904 to 1960, she loved the lost one's home. Beside me stood Siobhan Murray, my cousin, and a dozen relatives I didn't know I had. Aunts, uncles, second cousins, all with Clara's eyes. She talked about you, Siobhan said softly. Not often, but enough. My dad said she'd light candles every year on your birthday. She'd pray for hours. Did she regret it? I asked. Giving me up? An older man stepped forward, Siobhan's father's brother, Liam. He was 86 and had Clara's smile. Regret, he repeated. No. She called it the bravest thing she ever did. But it hollowed her out, lass. She was never the same. He handed me a small wooden box. She left this for you. Made me swear I'd keep it until you were found. Inside, a rosary, a photograph of Clara holding me as a newborn, and a letter in shaky handwriting, dated 1978. To my daughter Eleanor. If you're reading this, then Catherine kept her promise. You survived. You grew up. You found your way. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry I couldn't be your mother the way I wanted to be. But I need you to know, letting you go was the only way to keep you. My father was a violent man. He would have destroyed you to punish me, and I couldn't let that happen. So I gave you to the only person I trusted. Catherine promised me you'd be placed with a good family. She promised me you'd have a chance. I became a nun because I couldn't have you. And if I couldn't raise my own child, I'd raise God's children instead. I saved 8 kids from a fire in 1960. I don't remember much after that. But in my dreams, every child I carried out had your face. I don't know if you'll ever forgive me, but I hope you'll understand. I loved you the only way I could, by letting you go. Your mother, Clara. I sank to my knees and sobbed. Siobhan knelt beside me. She died a hero, Eleanor. Those kids she saved, 2 of them are doctors now. One's a teacher. They all have families, lives, because of her. She saved me too, I whispered. She just didn't live to see it. Liam pulled me up gently. You're wrong, lass. She saw it every time she closed her eyes. She saw you safe. That's all she ever wanted. That night, the Murray family hosted a dinner in Clara's memory. They toasted her, told stories, laughed and cried. And for the first time in my life, I understood. I wasn't abandoned. I was protected. Clara didn't leave me because she didn't want me. She left me because she loved me too much to let me suffer. Before I flew home, Siobhan gave me one last gift. Clara's journal from 1923. Inside, one entry, written the night before she left me. Tomorrow, I will put my daughter on the church steps. I will walk away. I will get on a boat to Ireland. I will become someone else. But tonight, I am her mother. I'm holding her now. She's asleep. She doesn't know this is goodbye. I'm memorizing her face, her smell, the way her fingers curl around mine. I'm whispering promises I'll never be able to keep. I'm telling her I love her, over and over, as if love alone could be enough. It isn't, but it's all I have to give. I closed the journal and pressed it to my chest. Clara gave me everything she had. And 60 years later, I finally understood. When I got back to New York, I did something I'd never done before. I requested access to the full orphan train records. All 53 children from train number 847. It took months. But I found them. Every single one. Some were dead. Some were elderly. But 12 were still alive. I wrote to each of them. I told them about Catherine. About Clara. About the women who'd fought to give us a chance. And one by one, they wrote back. A retired teacher in Oregon. A grandfather in Texas. A great-grandmother in Montana. All of them remembered Catherine Brennan, the woman who rode the train west with them, who made sure they were placed with kind families, who checked on them for years afterward. She saved my life, one woman wrote. I was 7, sickly. Nobody wanted me. But Miss Brennan insisted I be placed with a farming family who needed help, not a laborer. She told them, this child is smart. Educate her. They did. I became a nurse. I helped deliver over 2,000 babies in my career, all because she saw something in me nobody else did. Another man wrote, I was 10, angry, violent. No family would take me, but Miss Brennan placed me with a blacksmith who taught me discipline. I enlisted in World War II. I came home. I built a life. She didn't give up on me, so I didn't give up on myself. I collected every story, every letter, every photograph, and I turned it into a book. The baby left on the church steps, The Women Who Saved the Orphan Train Children. It wasn't a bestseller, but it didn't need to be, because the 12 survivors read it. Their children read it. Their grandchildren read it. And they understood what I'd learned. Family isn't blood. Family is the person who shows up when no one else will. Catherine Brennan wasn't my mother, but she was my family. Clara Murray wasn't there, but she gave me everything. And the Mays in Ireland? They welcomed me home like I'd never been gone. Last September 14th, my 75th birthday, I stood on the steps of St. Michael's Church with my daughter and granddaughter. I told them the story, the whole story. And when I finished, my granddaughter looked up at me and asked, Great-grandma, do you think Clara would be proud of you? I smiled. I think she'd be proud of all of us. Because here's the truth. I was left on church steps as a baby. I was shipped west on a train. I was given to strangers. But I wasn't abandoned. I was chosen. By a mother who loved me enough to let me go. By a matron who gave up everything to protect me. By a family who waited 60 years to bring me home. And now I choose them back. Every day. If this story moved you, do me a favor. Comment one word below that describes your family, blood or chosen. Because at the end of the day, family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up. Subscribe for more true stories of found families. Because everyone deserves to be chosen.